Welcome to the latest instalment of our highlight package for the LV County Championship. August was a month when England, of course, regained the Ashes. So fittingly, we're here at the home of cricket, Lords. However, it was not such a good month for Middlesex, who ended it near the foot of the LV County Championship table. There's a very thin line between success and failure in the LV County Championship, it seems, and Middlesex's extraordinary month is testament to that fact. At this very ground, they began the month bowling out Northamptonshire for 288 and were then massively on top as Nick Compton and Sam Robson put on 167 for the opening wicket in reply. But some fine bowling from Johan van der Wath just about kept his side in the match. Effectively, on day 3, Northants were 7 for 5 in their second innings and facing a heavy defeat, but late runs from van der Wath with 85 did give his side a second innings total of 293 to set Middlesex a target of 222 to win their first LV County Championship match of the summer. But thanks to van der Wath again, they were unable to reach their target in spite of Sean Udall's 50. He took 3 more wickets before David Lucas finished the match off with the wickets of the tail-enders to give Northamptonshire an improbable win by 35 runs. It was a result which typified Middlesex's month. They did cause a big quake in their next match at Canterbury against the Division 2 leaders and in-form Kent. Middlesex collapsed again, being bowled out for 155 before responding by dismissing Kent for 141. This wicket of Compton, who was out for the second time in the day, saw an incredible 21 wickets fall on that opening day. Wickets continued to fall on day 2, but Gareth Berg amassed a career best 98 as a target of 335 was set. A superb spell of bowling from Murali Kartik then took Middlesex through to that much-needed and deserved win. He bowled 35 overs of left-arm spin, 19 of which were maidens, as he finished with figures of 4 for 53 as Kent were dismissed for 287 to lose by 47 runs. A positive declaration in their next game set Essex 241 in 45 overs, and they won by 5 wickets thanks to some extraordinary hitting from Holland's Ryan Ten-Doeschate with 40 made from just 20 balls. Next stop for Middlesex was by the sea in South Wales, where the sand on the nearby beach seemed to have an effect on the pitch as well as the spinners dominated. 2 low-scoring first innings scores gave Glamorgan a 55-run lead, but they were then reduced to 82 for 8 second time around, with Udall taking 10 for 95 in the match. But Glamorgan's off-spinners prevailed as Robert Croft and Dean Koska spanned them to victory. The margin was just 23 runs in a month of close games for Middlesex. It could have all been so different.
Yeah, we beat Kent, we could have beaten Northants, we could have beaten Essex, and we went down to Glamorgan and we should have won there, chasing 190, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. It's been the story of the season. We have got a young side, quite inexperienced, and they just need to know what it takes to get over the line. Once we do that once or twice, I'm sure things will be fine, but at the moment it's not looking great, but 1 or 2 wins in this championship and you fly straight up the table.
Well, I'm now delighted to be joined by the Managing Director of Middlesex Cricket, Angus Fraser. Thanks for joining us, Angus.
Pleasure.
It's been an odd month, really, an odd season for Middlesex. So many games that you could have won that you've lost. It's a thin line between success and failure in this competition.
There is, and I suppose, I don't like standing here and sort of trying to make excuses because we've not had the season that we wanted to have, but I say 2 or 3 or 4 games really could have gone the other way. 2 in this month. Chasing 220 on the 4th day against Northants here. You'd expect to do that more often than not, and obviously chasing 190 against Glamorgan at Swansea was a similar thing as well. So we're at the bottom of the table at the moment, but with those victories we could have been still pushing for promotion, but we've just got to battle on and hope things will turn around.
Of course, you played for years down here at Lords for Middlesex as well. How do you think the LV County Championship has changed in those years?
Well, it's changed significantly, isn't it? When I finished, it was just the 2 divisional concept was developing, and I think that's been a huge success. Obviously, Middlesex has spent more time than we wanted to in the 2nd division, but I think that has meant sure that his interest has remained right to the end of the season. And no, it's a good quality contest that provides a very good sort of breeding ground for international cricketers.
Yeah, and there's so much cricket this year. Next year, okay, we're now dropping the 50-over competition, but what does it still mean in your position now for Middlesex to do well in this particular competition?
Well, I think it is still the most important competition because you ask an international cricketer what is he most proud of, it's his Test record, and then it's his one-day record, and then maybe it's a 2020 record, and you go down like that. And I say it's out there in 4-day cricket that you learn to become a Test cricketer. And I think in the same way that the Premier League is the most sought-after thing in football, it's the same here, because it's a long, hard tournament, and you've got to remain fit, you've got to play good cricket throughout it, and the best side will win it. 2020 has its obviously huge attractions, but Middlesex would have been nowhere near the list of favourites at the start of the 2008 season, and we came through and we won it. This year we've had another poor season, so 2020 form can go up and down, but I think the best side in the country consistently wins the county championship.
Okay, Angus, thanks very much indeed for joining us. The best side then win it, and the best side at the moment, looking as if they're going to win it for the second successive season, are Durham. We begin our Division 1 highlights with their victory over Sussex. If it's runs from experienced players you're after, then we have a treat for you in this section of the highlights. First, 35-year-old Michael Di Benito, with 22,000 first-class runs behind him, reached his best ever score after batting for 6 hours to make an undefeated 254 to put the LV County champions and champions-elect in a strong position as they declared on 473 for 4. Callum Thorpe then took early wickets on a good pitch to put Durham in complete control of the match, while their rivals, Somerset and Notts, are playing out a tame draw. Following on, 228 runs behind, Thorpe was at it again with only Luke Wright keeping him at bay with an undefeated 118. But when Harmison mopped up the Sussex tail in a similar way that he was to see off the Aussies a couple of weeks later, Sussex were all out for 304 to leave the champions only 80 to win, something they managed with ease to add 20 points to their tally. That put them well clear of their rivals, who, as I said, drew at Taunton, where runs dominated the headlines again this month. Harold Sapaya helped himself to a career best 151, but a result was never on the cards. So Notts needed to take advantage of their next game at Horsham. Only Ed Joyce kept them at bay in scoring 183 out of a combined total of 309. It was a hugely important innings in the chase for the silverware. Rain meant that Notts had missed their chance. Adam Voges helped himself to 100 at last for Notts, but the chance of catching up Durham had gone. Sussex were looking good in the one-day game, but in the LV County Championship they were stumbling, and the 3 times champions this decade were in the relegation zone, needing to beat bottom club Worcestershire. Wright showed what a promising all-rounder he is by taking 5 for 66, as Worcestershire were bowled out for 256. But a remarkable spell of bowling for the massive Matt Mason put the pressure back on Sussex. He took 7 for 60 as Sussex led by just 24. By the time Ollie Rayner bowled Imran Arif, who got his side out of bother with 35, a target of 212 had been set. That didn't look too easy, but Sussex, thanks to Chris Nash, raced home. Wickets had fallen regularly all game, but Nash ignored all that and reached his 100 off just 99 balls, an incredible knock, which in this tight division was vital as Sussex moved out of trouble. They broke their own club record in their next match, scoring 742 for 5. But the game was noted for the best innings of the summer, as Murray Goodwin, who'd made only 282 runs in 19 previous innings in the LV County Championship, hit a career best 344 not out. Remarkably, it came off only 351 balls with 43 fours and 6 sixes. He may have had 19,000 first-class runs behind him, but he can never have batted better than this on a Taunton wicket where results have become impossible this season and has arguably cost Somerset a fair crack at the title. 4 other centuries came in the match. So to our player of the month, who just has to be Goodwin following that amazing knock, the 6th highest individual score in the history of what is now the LV County Championship. These are just some of his incredible hitting, just a few of those 43 fours and 6 sixes. In 2 sessions on the second day, he was a major factor in Sussex scoring 416 runs in just 67 overs. This month, the LV County Championship has provided some nail-biting conclusions to matches and some batting which would put the 2020 to shame. This was typical of the kind of entertainment the watching public have been given. It was the 7th time Goodwin had passed 200 for his county, but having reached 335, it was the highest score of a long career for the 36-year-old, and much deserving of this award. So we now move to the final few weeks of the 2009 LV County Championship season, with still an awful lot to play for the majority of the counties. Alas, not for our host today, Middlesex, but they've shown one thing: the LV County Championship is an extremely exciting competition, and there's going to be many more thrills in the final months of the season ahead.